The Dallas Cowboys. They had their first preseason game.
Okay.
Today.
What's that mean for how much did the starters play? Zero? One
know
possession?
how potentially. Yeah, one
maybe
possession.
not. Probably not even that.
Probably not even all. Yeah, exactly.
So these are guys that are
playing
trying to make their livelihood. These are the guys. These actually the guys that are fighting for livelihood. If you think about it,
probably. Yeah. More
literally
than
to make the team.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys are gonna get cut.
It looks like the defense was fighting pretty hard.
Actually, I never thought about that. No, that should potentially make it more compelling than people. I mean, of course, if you're a millionaire, it all becomes relative. But for a guy who's literally trying not to get cut and who has these short contracts, and this is their opportunity, they have way more on the line as far as a livelihood.
No, that's a good point.
Well, and
so it really
guys
should
that made their career like in the
dang
preseason.
It, preseason might actually, and it's lesser quality.
Wasn't Miles Austin one like that? Where it was
probably
like he was one.
Everyone's
that,
got
like,
stories.
Had a big,
well, not everyone, but
big
some.
Preseason, and because Miles Austin wasn't he was like a walk-on.
Yeah, he wasn't a known commodity. Yeah.
No. But yeah, every year there's some
I'm glad
story
you brought
like
that
that
up.
somewhere.
Because
like,
of course it's lesser quality.
Normally, or it's like some guy that went and did something for whatever. It's like, yeah, I played football in high school and like a year in college, and then
or even the guys that are like went and played college 4 years and they're just literally trying to make a living. But the NFL, there's only so many spots, and you have to be and of course the product is less quality. But I would like to think those guys are actually have more on the line.
Yeah.
To
trying to give
try
you
their
more,
best.
not just mailing it in some cases.
I've never really thought about that, but that really could make it more interesting and dramatic.
Well, maybe you have to check it out and let me know.
But
and
I'm
tell
not
me
going
what
to,
you're. But I'll tell you one thing: if any, the defense might have been working hard for both teams in this game because of the final.
It was the highest. It was a shootout.
The final was 13-12.
Oh.
And
an
the
anti-shootout.
Cowboys took the L on this one.
We don't like shootouts.
No, the Cowboys took the L on this one.
Shocking.
And I just want to talk a little bit here, and of course, Chris and everybody else is going to have their time to talk.
So it's the Soapbox Mikey coming up.
Soapbox Mike, everybody, come gather around here. Yeah.
I got something to say.
Listen
Here's
up.
Soapbox Mikey.
Yeah, grab your Cracker Jacks.
I don't know why.
Pop open a beverage. I want to hear
really
this.
Start eating Cracker Jacks. Okay, so no. Either way, so the Cowboys for every year, it's like, and I never really. This year, it kind of hit me listening to it like a week ago or something. Listening to one of the radio stations. I don't remember exactly which one. It wasn't the Ticket. It was the Fan or something.
Yeah. And then posers.
Yeah. Well, I had it on because I think they're the ones who broadcast the Rangers game.
Yeah.
So
Matthew's over here radio game.
But either way, so I was listening to them and they were talking about the Cowboys and they said and I felt bad at one point and I kind of had to turn it off because it was like the way they were talking about.
Oh, they're saying offensive things?
No, that they felt, it was like I just turned it off because it's like growing up in the city all these years, I've experienced many Cowboy seasons.
Yes, many seasons.
I've experienced
many disappointments.
many seasons.
Many letdowns.
A lot of people
Many hopes.
A lot of people tell me the Cowboys
Many
are
hopes
great.
shattered.
I haven't gotten to see it.
every season.
I hear we were really good at one point, but I haven't gotten to see it. We had that guy with the hat. I don't know what happened to him.
Like the abusive husband says he's going to do better.
So I've experienced this,
Yeah,
right?
somehow
And so
like
I
this
just,
year.
after listening to the radio the other day, I kind of was like, I can't hear. I was like, I just got to turn it
guy's
off.
got
And I felt
radio.
bad for the radio guy because he's doing the best he can to make something happen here. But he's sitting here talking about, in my opinion, my opinion's heavily influenced from Chris with this
He
point
indoctrinated
here.
you.
He did, but it's also like my dad was always saying about
Then he
about
indoctrinated the both
Yeah,
of
he's
you.
like,
Well,
it was
my
handed
dad
down
always
to me
said-
from my father. and
my
I
dad would always
hated
say
the sins
that-
of the father are passed down to his children.
my dad would always say to me that the Cowboys aren't ever going to like do shit
As long as
until Jerry is gone.
No,
Like, as
I've
long
told
as
you my
Jerry
stance.
Jones
Do you know
is
what my
a
stance
part
is?
of that team.
It's going to be until he's dead.
Okay.
Because that's what they think. But even if he gets really sick and he's forced to step down, no. I think it's not going to be until he doesn't live anymore.
So that
And
my dad's always
I
said
hope he
that
lives forever.
for the longest time. Yeah, no, not wishing ill will on Jerry Jones. I'm sure he's a fine man.
Stadium.
I literally love Jerry Jones. Like he has the funniest stuff I've ever heard.
You seen Red J?
I want me some glory.
I've enjoyed
I've
enjoyed fun in his stadium. I love it. Like no harm on Jerry.
New boot
we love
funnin'?
Jerry, but at the end of the day,
New boot goofing.
he's just not. He's something bad for the organization. It seems like. But so my dad's always said that, and something Chris has always said is that it's like it doesn't matter if the Cowboys win or lose. It doesn't matter if they win or lose. We'll get our ass kicked like right before we get to the playoffs, right, or right first round of the playoffs, like which we've only done once in the past.
Where we made it.
I don't know how many years.
What were
we've done
in
it
the
once
fucking
in the
championship game this past year? Or like what?
How many times?
What round of the playoffs were we in when Green Bay just ate our fucking lunch this past year?
Or NFC Championship, my bad. NFC Championship.
Yeah, weren't we in the?
We haven't
We've only
haven't made
been
it
to
to a
one.
championship in like
We've
20
only been to
years.
one
20
NFC
years.
No,
championship game.
What were they at then?
Like
we were
the
in
first
second round.
we made it past the wild card game. I think was it.
Yeah, so it
2013
was
or
like the
some
second
shit.
round. That
Which I feel like the wild card
Look
round.
up, when was the last Cowboys NFC championship?
oh well, then yeah, the championship.
I was looking at the
game
season.
would have been 96
No, I was looking.
or 95. Technically, it would have been 96, 95.
Watch the
season.
man struggle to type. No, I'll just go to the wiki and we'll scan down their sizzle.
But either way, my point. What I wanted to say about it, because I know y'all got something to say too.
Yeah, they won the
probably.
NFC East a lot of, but that's the most they've done.
Mm-hmm. The East.
Yeah, that was a movie I referenced.
The East. Yeah. So yeah, no, they, but either way, Chris has said it doesn't matter if they win or lose. And I was listening to the radio the other day, and these guys are talking about it, and it's just like, I felt bad because, you hear him talking about. Well, I mean, I'm hopeful. I think that they can do something here. I'm more hopeful this week than I was last week, and it's like
I believe that's true.
It might be true, but it's just like I'm not saying the guy's lying. That's
That
what
means
I'm saying.
nothing to
bad.
me. Doesn't make me think we're gonna win.
No,
but I believe he's
that's
hopeful.
No, that's what I'm saying, and that's I had to turn it off because it's like I just don't see how you can be hopeful at this point with this team because like what Chris is, what I've heard from my dad, what Chris has said, about they're the most win or lose, they're the most marketable team. It doesn't matter because you have half of the people tune in to watch the Cowboys win, and the other half are tuning in to watch them lose. People that don't even have a dog in the hunt will tune in to watch the Cowboys lose. So
It's a great product.
It's like
if
it doesn't
looking at it just as a product.
Yeah, and then it's like you see Jerry Jones. Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not like that Jerry doesn't fully want to win, but when you see him
That's
lose
not the most
up in the
important
box,
thing.
he's like. Oh shucks! He hits him with the
when you're
shucks.
like the most valuable franchise across all sports, that's not the number one objective. Is not Super Bowl is like number 2 or 3. Number 1 is being profitable and maximizing value. You can't argue with that angle of it. You can't. So last season they lost the wild card playoffs to the Packers.
Oh,
so that was the wild card game.
Okay, yeah, no, I know.
2 years ago they won. Well, that was the. Literally, all they've done is win a wild card game the last
they're
10 years.
Underwhelming. It's like I'm to the point that it's like
seriously,
I don't give a damn
all they've
about,
done is
I don't give
win
a
wild
damn
card
about
games.
anything they do until they get at least to like the NFC Championship.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Because they're just it's like they're just trash, and it's like, and I was as diehard a Cowboys fan as they come, but it's like, I mean, it's just disgusting what they've done to this franchise. Like the mediocrity that they've, every year they come out and they hype and this year it's going to be different. Oh, we got but we got the defense this year. Like, we got this guy. And
how much control do they actually even have, though? That's the thing. Even on front offices that are actually, you could say, trying their best to win Super Bowls, when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and different certain teams, how much control do they actually have?
But how do you have these teams though that always continue
I mean,
to
what
have
if
success though?
But
Like you have these franchises that continue to have success though. Like teams like Green Bay, where they'll turn over a fucking coach.
I mean, no,
they'll turn over a quarterback. They'll turn over like all their then
you'll
a few years later they're
terrible
right back in the
teams
playoffs.
make a run.
Yes, but he's saying
and
no,
like,
but he's making the point though about the.
So it's not just as like, oh yeah, well, I mean that's just the way it goes. How many teams go out and try to like? It was like you have these franchises that.
So do you
have like,
what would be your recommendation?
At this point,
it's like Jerry.
At this point, I've
of course
honestly
make him
quit
not
watching. I don't have a recommendation.
I feel like
I
he
don't
should
really care. Like I'm like
as a businessman, I
do what
feel
you
like he
want.
should recognize if something's
like everybody
not
knows,
working.
hire a GM.
Yeah,
That's
it fascinates me that he's so stubborn on that.
Yeah, and that he's like
Because-
seriously like nobody.
He has nothing else to do with
Nobody
his
cares.
time. He has all these other businesses. Like he could fill his time. Like why does he have to hold on to that? It's like stubborn. I feel like it's just because
Well, it's because
that was
all
the conversation.
all the criticism he got for firing Jimmy, and he was oh, I can get anybody in here to coach this team, and he got Barry Switzer in there, and he like they won that one, and then he ain't won shit since then, and everybody said, well, okay, yeah, technically you got one with Barry, but that was Jimmy's team. He was like, you haven't won one without Jimmy Johnson, and so Jerry Jones would rather lose until the day that he dies than to, bring in a general manager to win and validate what people said all along.
And he
Jerry, you're
validates
not
himself
the
by the
football
fact that they make money. That's the thing. That's the thing.
That to me is the dark lore of the team that
I think that's the
nobody
truth
really
of it.
knows. No, I know, but I'm saying like that's the
He's literally being a stubborn,
origin-
proudful,
Yeah.
arrogant dude.
that's the origin of what you're
But
seeing.
it's justified by the fact that it's still so valuable.
Yeah.
So the
No,
people
and that's what, and you're always
that are invested or
it
have
doesn't
any-
matter if you go out and
Yep.
go 8-8 or 4-16 or they had the 5 and fucking whatever season.
Yeah.
3 of them in a row back in the mid.
And there's no reason they
grew
wouldn't-
their fan base every year.
Yeah, changing a general manager wouldn't affect the product. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't affect if people, but they could be just as profitable without him
Well,
being
you
general
need
manager.
that
It's literally
general
being
manager
stubborn
there.
because an intelligent person would think, "What can I change to try? Like I've changed all these things. Maybe I should change this position." Oh no, that's
Well, and Jerry is
You know?
more than willing to spend the money for like
Oh,
all
yeah.
the arguments and
Yep.
all the like complaints I have against him. It's like he is willing to spend the money, but it's like he has no.
I think
he has no check there in that like other organizations have the GM there that's like.
I think
no,
it shows
know
he
you
truly
wanna
doesn't
go
care
get-
about winning that much.
I feel
Well,
like he
that's-
does, but it's like
No, he does to the point that he wants to. But if he really, truly cared about it and all the changes he's made, you'd have to realize maybe I'm not the person to manage this team. But
Yeah.
no, he
And
doesn't
that's-
care enough.
that's why-
it's
that's
like
why
caring enough
almost
to know when to
my-
step down.
He
doesn't
Yeah.
care enough about it.
No, and that's
he's Al
almost
Davis.
where it's
He's
like,
He's
he's
Al
more proud. He
Davis.
cares about his pride.
and that's
more
why
than
I
that.
feel like that's why I have the position almost of where it's like I don't really think that like the players care and they want to win and they're playing for their lives.
I believe
they're playing
that.
for their lived and their, their namesake.
It's literally
and all of that.
management. It's
But
management.
But at the end of the day, I don't, whenever Jerry's still seeing that how many years since we've won and really been a team that's like you're proud to be a Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah,
it's like-
I've been arguing with motherfuckers
Yeah.
for 20 years. Where it was like, bro, you're from Dallas. How are you not a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh wait, Cowboys have never been good as long as.
It's
you've
like
been
I'm a
alive. And it's
fan,
like, oh,
but
that
I
makes
don't
sense.
get emotionally invested.
No, yeah, and that's pretty much.
No,
what
I- Absolutely
I'd like
not.
to be emotionally invested, like the Mavericks and Stars. I'll get emotionally invested in those teams.
Yeah.
If they're
No, you can't though with
the
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
It's like
You
it's
know-
like an abusive relationship.
exactly like I
Yeah.
said, it's like the
Where it
battered
was like,
wife
no,
thing.
it'll be better this time because like I know like last year we had
Yeah, and that's-
this
And they
but
tease
we
you.
gotta-
They do
we
things that
got a new
tease you.
Center.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that it was like we've watched all these Jerry
And they'll
sit
have
here
good
and seen
runs,
all
though.
these-
They'll do
Jerry's
magical
seen
little
all
things.
these
They just
years
play to the level of
of
their
L's
competition.
and he's
Always.
and while he's seeing all these L's over here, he's also seeing all the dollar
Cha-ching,
signs
cha-ching.
on the merchandise side, on the
P.T.
on
Barnum.
like
There's
just
a
the
On the
marketing.
they got the
Every
art gallery.
minute.
My wife, art
I
curator
mean-
of the stadium.
and the
Like
art,
the
dude,
Sky
that's
Mirror.
something we need to talk about. That's a whole rabbit hole we can go down. How the entire art industry is